What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Day number 4 of the 14th season of Grand Party is upon us, and we are going to just use the same strategy that we've been applying the entire season, and it's been working pretty well thus far. One thing that I am slightly changing, at least towards the end here, is one thing that I am suggesting to you guys is to change your GP leader. However, the final day tomorrow is going to be really rough, obviously, because it's the hardest day where you can't really see a lot of the teams. What I would suggest, set your teams as auto. That's what I would suggest. Make sure to run automatic teams. At the end of this clip, if you want to see exactly how I do it, I'll show you guys exactly what I do. I'm going to leave it the way that it is currently set, and then I will change my teams completely for the final day. And fingers crossed, people do the right thing and we'll be able to secure 15 wins, but we'll see what happens. Luckily for us today, for all 3 of our games, all 3 of our matches, we only have to go to game 2. We actually end up winning the first 2 games in each match, which is really awesome. For this first one here, against this Dalton GP leader, I actually had to reset once because the first time I went in, all I found was Gear 5 leaders, so I was a bit concerned. I had 1 refresh left. Decided to use it and was able to locate this Dalton team, which I was very thankful for, because I don't really want to go up against Gear 5 leads, but you know, people be doing crazy things, so you never know, right? Despite the fact that a lot of people are opting to use this strategy now, some people still don't remember or just choose not to change their leaders, which is really frustrating. So make sure to change your leader at a bare minimum at the end of every day. But especially for this final day, I would advise you guys to change your teams completely. And it doesn't mean just swiping to the next team. You actually have to change the team that you currently used. It's very frustrating because the team builder is not very good, but you got to do what you got to do, you know? Moving on to the second match here, we are going to be using, once again, the exact same team, and we're going to be going up against this first one here, which is going to be a strength-focused team. I do see Otama is the leader, and Otama is set in Game 2, so I assume that it will mean that the second team will be a free spirit team, right? So knowing that, I thought, you know, versus strength, I have versus Akainu on my health cut team, and against strength teams, that Akainu just absolutely dominates, and I felt pretty comfortable using this team against strength. The only time I kind of get scared is when my opponent has like waifus or the Kizuna Boa for the confusion stuff. That could really cause some issues. Luckily for us, that isn't going to be the case. My opponent does use the kid special. I was about to use Gear 5 and I'm like, you know what? I'll wait for the bench to come in, then I'll use the burst, get the knockouts, and then we can just get a pretty swift victory from that point onwards. So I do know that my opponent is going to be utilizing a free spirit team as their second team, knowing that Otama is the leader on that team. However, I wasn't 100% sure on what I felt comfortable using against it, so I opted to use Dex because I felt like if I have my own free spirit team, you know, as if I could just save one of my bursts for an unknown team, and I should be able to get through it pretty comfortably. However, I just use my Dex team and see what happens. Now, yes, I could have definitely just skipped this entire game. However, I decided to keep watching because if I get the opportunity to just win here, it would make things a lot better. And because Dex is incredibly bulky and have the capacity to revive with the Luffy passive, I felt pretty good that I would last a really long time in this game. The thing about the free spirit team, you know, with Nami, Karina, and all of that, is that it actually doesn't output a lot of damage very quickly. The positives of this team, it's very good in Grand Party because you can stop your opponent from using specials and it gives you more time to survive, and then it allows you to get your Gear 5 burst more efficiently, and you can just stay alive and then use your Gear 5 fixed damage and damage through defense to kind of carry you. And then of course Zoro with his end of turn damage stuff or his counter stuff just works really well. But I opted to use the burst and we get a pretty clean victory here. Moving on to the final match of day number 4, and we are up against another team without Gear 5 lead, which is fantastic. However, the person who did this, I gotta say, you didn't really do it right, because they set Fujitora as their leader, which is the team that I can see. you need to set the leader to a team that I can't see so I know what team it's going to be, right? So very, very frustrating that this individual didn't do it correctly. However, I would much rather face this than face a Gear 5 leader, you know what I mean? So yes, almost there. You almost got it right. You got like half marks, but despite that, awesome that we can find another team without Gear 5 as the leader. And we do see like a little bit of a health cut-ish style team here in game number 1. And it actually goes down to, to pretty low times here because, as I mentioned, this Free Spirit team with Nami Karina, it doesn't really do a lot of damage. Your only damage dealers really are going to be Sanji and Gear 5. So you're not going to be doing outputting a lot of damage there. Zoro can help you with damage, but it is reliant on the opponent just normal attacking Zoro. And especially towards the late game when like everyone has increased attack and everyone's just like launching their normal attacks. And especially Nami, Karina, and Zoro together work really well as Nami, Karina can reset their specials and allow it so they have to do normal attacks, and if Zoro is provoked, they have to attack him, which does damage. So yeah, it's a little bit of an unorthodox team, but it's just super consistent. Nami, Karina are insanely powerful and work very, very well in the Free Spirit squad. And then we have a burst ready to go just about with our team. And I thought, you know what, let's use the health cut team next. We don't know what's next, and it ends up being a Dex team, which works pretty well in my favor, so long as we get rid of Blackbeard. He's the only character I'm really scared about because he just destroys my team because it's strength, Dex, and quick characters. Mainly strength and Dex, strength and quick, which means that Blackbeard will absolutely destroy us. So as long as Blackbeard gets knocked out, that's the only thing I really care about, and he does. So at this point, it was a pretty easy victory. And as I said, at the end of this clip, I will be doing an auto team so that it will make it easier for everyone to like fight me if they end up locating me for Grand Party tomorrow. That is going to wrap it up for me though. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.